Let me ask you a question. How old are you right now? 22, 25, 28, 30? Good. Now another question. As of today, how much money do you have in your investment account? $0? $1,000? $5,000? For most of you, the answer is probably very little or nothing. And that's the problem. I'm Salim Ramji. I'm the CEO of Vanguard. I manage retirement accounts every single day. And let me tell you something. Someone who reaches 30 with zero in their account cannot retire comfortably at 65. It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult because you've lost your most valuable asset, time. But if you're still in your 20s, I have great news. You still have time. And the 3 golden rules I'm going to give you today will help you use that time correctly. Everyone who follows these rules, no exceptions, everyone, can be financially free 40 years later. But those who don't, they're still forced to work in their 60s. Today, I'm going to share 3 rules with you. Simple, clear, actionable. And if you listen and apply them, not just listen, apply. 40 years from now, you'll look back and say, the day I found this video was the luckiest day of my life. Let's begin. First, I need to tell you about a reality, the situation of young Americans. 78% of Americans under 30 live paycheck to paycheck. That means 8 out of 10 young people are struggling just to make it to the next payday. They can't come up with $400 in an emergency. They have no retirement accounts. They have credit card debt. They have student loans. And worst of all, they have no hope. I'll never be able to retire anyway, they say. I'll never be able to buy a house. I won't be able to send my kids to school. Social Security won't exist by the time I get there. And this mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you have no hope for the future, why would you save today? So they spend everything immediately. But here's the truth. This is a choice. Financial hardship isn't destiny. It's a chain of choices. And if you start making the right choices today, you'll be in a completely different place 10 years from now. I've seen this in my own life. In 1993, at age 23, I graduated from Cambridge. I started my first job in London. Clifford Chance, a major law firm. Do you know what I did when I got my first paycheck? My friends said, "Let's celebrate. Let's have a fancy dinner." I said, "First, I'm going to invest 20% of this salary. Then we'll celebrate." They looked at me like I was crazy. "Salim, you're 23. Live a little." But I didn't listen. From that day on, it's been 32 years. I've consistently invested 15 to 20% of every paycheck. At McKinsey, at BlackRock, now at Vanguard. Always. And today, I'm 55 years old. I'm financially free. My children's education is secure. My retirement is secure. Wait, let me not use the word secure. But I can say this. I don't worry about my retirement. And this stems from a decision I made 32 years ago. Starting at age 23. That's your advantage. If you're 25 right now, you're 30 years younger than me. You have 30 more years of compound interest time. This is a massive advantage, but only if you start today. Now I'm going to share those 3 golden rules with you. But please remember, these aren't definitive recommendations. These are general principles. Every investor's situation is different. If you're ready, let's begin. First golden rule. Automatically invest 15% of your salary. Now some of you will say, "Salim, I'm already struggling. I have rent, bills, food expenses. Where am I going to find 15%? I understand. I really do. But let me tell you something. If you can't find 15% now, you won't find it at 65 either, because expenses never decrease. They only increase. Right now, you have rent. In 10 years, you'll have a mortgage. Right now, you live alone. In 10 years, you'll have a family. Right now, you're healthy. In 10 years, your healthcare expenses will increase. So if you can't find 15% today, you won't find it tomorrow. But here's the trick. You don't find 15%. You set aside 15% first. This is a very important distinction. Most people think like this. Let me get my paycheck, pay my bills, handle my food, entertainment, everything. Then I'll invest whatever's left. And what's left? Nothing. But smart people do this. Paycheck arrives, first 15% goes to investment account, live on the rest. This system is called pay yourself first, and it works. Why does it work? Because the human brain adapts to what it doesn't have. If 85% of your salary comes into your account, you learn to live on 85%. If 100% comes in, you spend 100%. It doesn't matter how much you earn. Whatever comes in, you spend it. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the biggest enemy of young investors. So how do you implement this? Very simple. 3 steps. Step 1. Open a retirement account. 401k if your employer offers it. Roth IRA if you're under the income limit. Traditional IRA if you want a tax deduction. Whatever it is, open it. Step 2. Set up automatic transfer. The day your paycheck arrives, automatically have 15% go to your investment account. You don't see it. You can't touch it. It's as if you never received it. Step 3. Forget it. Yes, forget it. Don't check it every month. Don't stress. Trust the system. Let time pass. And 10 years later when you look, you'll have $100,000 in your account. 20 years later, $400,000. 30 years later, $1 million. But regardless of how much you earn, the 15% rule applies. Earning $30,000. 15% equals $4,500 per year equals $375 per month. $50,000. 15% equals $7,500 per year equals $625 per month. $80,000. 15% equals $12,000 per year equals $1,000 per month. The number changes, but the percentage stays constant, 15%. And if your employer does a 3 to 5% match, many companies do, you only put in 10 to 12%, totaling 15%. That's free money. Anyone who doesn't take it is foolish. Now let me show you the numbers. You're 25 years old. You earn $50,000. Every year, you invest 15% equals $7,500, assuming 7% annual return, historical average. At 35, approximately $110,000. At 45, approximately $330,000. At 55, approximately $780,000. At 65, approximately $1.5 million. You've invested a total of $300,000. You have $1.5 million. $1.2 million from compound interest. That's rule number 1. Automatically invest 15% of your salary. Pay yourself first. Set up the system. Forget it. Second golden rule. Be 100% in stocks in your 20s and 30s. Now this might sound like radical advice. But Salim, what about diversification? Shouldn't I buy bonds? No, you shouldn't. Not yet. Why? Because the only advantage of being young is that you can handle risk. Let me explain this. You're 60 years old. You have 5 years until retirement. The market drops 40%. This is terrible, because recovery could take 3 to 5 years. And you can't wait that long. But you're 25 years old. The market drops 40%. What should you do? You should celebrate, because everything is on sale. And you're going to buy at discounted prices for the next 40 years. This is a very important mental shift. Young investors shouldn't fear drops. They should anticipate drops. 2008 financial crisis. Dropped 50%. Was this a disaster for a 25-year-old? No. It was an opportunity, because they bought at low prices throughout 2009, 2010, 2011. And when the market recovered in 2013, they had massive gains. 2020 pandemic. Dropped 34% in 5 weeks. Again, an opportunity for a 25-year-old, but a tragedy for a 65-year-old. The difference is time horizon. You have 40 years. So volatility isn't a threat for you. It's a tool. Now you'll say, but bonds are safer. True, bonds are less volatile, but bonds provide much lower returns in the long term. Stocks, historical average 10% per year. Bonds, historical average 5% per year. Buying bonds when young means losing a 5% difference. Losing a 5% difference over 40 years means losing millions of dollars. Let me show you the numbers. You invest $10,000 every year for 40 years. 10% return. Stocks, approximately $4.9 million. 5% return. Bonds, approximately $1.3 million. Difference, $3.6 million. $3.6 million is the cost of playing it safe. Is it worth it when you're young? No. So how do you be 100% in stocks? Simple. Low-cost, broadly diversified index funds. Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, VTSAX. Vanguard Total World Stock Index, VTWAX. S&P 500 Index, VOOSPY. One fund, thousands of companies, all sectors, the entire market, and you just sit and wait. But what if the market crashes? It will crash. Guaranteed. Over the next 40 years, you'll see at least 5 to 6 major drops. 20%, 30%, maybe 50% drops. But it will recover every time. Because the economy grows, companies create value, innovation continues. And because you're young, you'll buy more shares with every drop. Now let me answer, when should I start buying bonds? Simple rule. 20s, 100% stocks. 30s, 90% stocks. 10% bonds. 10% bonds. 40s, 80% stocks. 20% bonds. 50s, 70% stocks. 30% bonds. 60s, 60% stocks. 40% bonds. As you age, you gradually shift to bonds. But when young, full throttle stocks. That's rule number 2. Be 100% in stocks when young. Take risk. Embrace volatility. You have time. Third and final golden rule. Minimize costs. This might seem like a boring topic, but let me tell you, this is the most important rule. Because costs silently eat your wealth. And most young investors aren't even aware. Let me tell you a story. In 2015, I was managing iShares at BlackRock. One day, a college student emailed me, "Mr. Ramji, my employer offers a 401k. Which fund should I choose?" He sent me the list. 12 funds. I looked at all of them, and I was shocked. Average fee, 1.8%. 1.8%. That means $180 annually for every $10,000. Over 40 years, this means wealth destruction. I told him, "Don't choose these funds. demand that your employer request low-cost index funds. But, he said, there's no choice. These are all I have. That's the problem. Many 401k plans are filled with high-fee funds, and young employees don't even know they have options. Now let me show you the math. You invest $10,000 for 40 years, 7% annual return. Scenario 1, 0.05% fee, low-cost index fund. After 40 years, approximately $147,000. Scenario 2, 1.0% fee, average active fund. After 40 years, approximately $107,000. Scenario 3, 1.8% fee, bad, 401k fund. After 40 years, approximately $85,000. Just from fee difference, 0.05% versus 1.0% equals $40,000 loss. 0.05% versus 1.8% equals $62,000 loss. Same market, same stocks, just fee difference. $62,000 loss. And this is just for $10,000. If you're investing more, the loss multiplies. This is why I love Vanguard. Vanguard's mission? Minimize costs, maximize returns. Many of our funds charge 0.03 to 0.05%. For $10,000, that's only $3 to $5 annually. Almost nothing. And over 40 years, this difference means millions of dollars. So how do you find low-cost funds? Look at two things. 1. Expense ratio. This is the fund's annual fee. Excellent, under 0.10%. Good, 0.10% to 0.30%. Average, 0.30% to 0.75%. Bad, 0.75% to 1.5%. Very bad, over 1.5%. Simple rule, prefer under 0.20%. 2. Index fund versus active fund. Index funds track the market. Low cost. Active funds try to beat the market. High cost. And research shows, over 10 years, 80% of active funds underperform the index. Over 20 years, 90% fall behind. So simple strategy. Choose index funds. Vanguard, Total Stock Market, Vanguard S&P 500, Vanguard Total World Stock, all charge around 0.05%. Perfect. But what if your 401k is filled with bad funds? 3 options. 1. Complain to HR. Request low-cost options. 2. Take the 401k match, but invest extra in IRA. If employer matches 3%, you put in 3%. Free money, put the extra in your own Roth IRA. 3. Roll over 401k when changing jobs. When leaving old job, transfer account to Vanguard IRA. Switch to low-cost funds. That's rule number 3. Minimize costs. Every 1% in fees means 20 to 25% loss long-term. Choose low-cost index funds. Protect your wealth. All right, let me summarize everything. 3 golden rules for young investors. Rule 1. Automatically invest 15% of your salary. Pay yourself first. Set up the system. Forget it. You'll be a millionaire in 40 years. Rule 2. Be 100% in stocks. When young, take risk. You have time. Drops are opportunities, not threats. Target 10% returns. Don't settle for 5%. Rule 3. Minimize costs. Low-cost index funds. 0.05 to 0.20% fees. Every 1% in fees means hundreds of thousands lost. These 3 rules are simple but powerful. And if you start today, at 25, at 28, at 30, you'll be financially free 40 years from now. But the cost of delay is heavy. Every year that passes, you're losing tens of thousands of dollars. I'm Salim Ramji. I've dedicated my life to investment management. I manage $9.3 trillion. And I can tell you, getting rich isn't about luck. It's about discipline. Everyone who applies these 3 rules can become wealthy. But those who don't will struggle for life. Now the choice is yours. Will you start today, or will you say tomorrow? Because tomorrow never comes. Start today. Open your 401k account. Apply for a Roth IRA. Set up automatic transfer. Choose a low-cost index fund. And forget it. 40 years from now, you'll thank me. But please remember, nothing in this video constitutes personalized advice. Every investor's situation is different. Do your own research. Consult a licensed advisor. Past performance does not guarantee future returns. Best of luck. Final reminder, this video is an independent educational production. We are not affiliated with Salim Ramji, Vanguard, or any organization. Content is for educational purposes only. Seek professional guidance before investing. Investment involves risk.